speculation that the younger Salah could soon be sent to Yemen to try to lead what's left of the Salah forces. Salah's GPC and the Houthis are the two main factions in northern Yemen, and the Houthis have followed up the death of Salah by seizing his home and the homes of several of his relatives. The Saudis have subsequently bombed Salah's house, which ironically is what they did at the start of the war that led Salah to align with the Houthis in the first place. The war and blockade has killed thousands and put millions on the brink of starvation in North Yemen. The Saudi strikes are continuing to worsen that crisis, and in the capital of Sana'a, many civilians are basically trapped inside their homes. Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organization to show up in an emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare to the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT NoGov license. Cell 411, because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com. UPI reports the U.S. House passed a bill Wednesday that would allow concealed carry permit holders to conceal carry their weapons in any other state. The Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act passed 231 to 198 in the House, with 6 Democrats voting for it and 14 Republicans voting against. The bill had support from the National Rifle Association, which praised its passage. Chris Cox, executive director of the NRA, said in a statement, "This vote marks a watershed moment for Second Amendment rights. The Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act is the culmination of a 30-year movement recognizing the right of all law-abiding Americans to defend themselves and their loved ones, including when they cross state lines." The author of the bill, Representative Richard Hudson of North Carolina, said concealed carry permits should be treated like driver's licenses or marriage licenses, which are recognized across state lines. During House floor debate, Hudson said, "If I get married in North Carolina but move to Arizona, I'm not suddenly a single man. They recognize that marriage. The concealed carry permit should be recognized the same way." But Democrats who opposed the bill said that more lenient gun laws open the door for more gun violence. The bill also proposes improvements to the FBI National Instant Criminal Background Check system and requires a response within 60 days to people who believe they were mistakenly added to the system. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports a gay man who was denied a marriage license in Kentucky 2 years ago by a county clerk who refused to issue licenses for same-sex marriages will run to unseat her next year. David Ermold of Moorhead, Kentucky, announced his candidacy as a Democrat against Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis, who drew worldwide attention when she refused to grant the licenses to same-sex couples, citing her religious beliefs. Ermold and his partner were one of the 4 couples who sued Davis. After his campaign announcement on Facebook, Ermold told Reuters, "We need to restore the integrity of that office. I wasn't treated fairly myself." Davis intends to seek re-election as a Republican in 2018. She spent 5 days in jail in September 2015 after refusing a court order to issue marriage licenses following the Supreme Court's decision legalizing same-sex marriage. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
According to attendees of a karaoke night at Charlie's Bar and Grill, a man 30 seconds into singing Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror better get his act together and get it together fast.
He up from the get-go, coming in late on that first line, singing totally off-key. He needs to shape up and get his head in the game pronto.
Honestly, he needs to get serious right now or get the f*** off the stage. I mean, what does he think this is? Living on a prayer?
Claiming that this is turning into a train wreck, eyewitnesses say they are embarrassed for the man who has missed several key words despite staring at the prompter the entire time.
You know, he could hit every last note for the remainder of the song, and I still don't know if that would be enough to turn this thing around.
Man in the Mirror is the big leagues, so you better show up with your A-game.
This is the Onion News Network.
Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You can join us by calling toll-free to 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. The us in studio tonight is Darryl.
And Chris.
And if you've listened to the show, then you know that we are fans of cryptocurrency. And apparently, there are some people that decided, well, you know what? Everything else on the internet has cats. Let's put cats on the blockchain.
Why not?
So what is this all? I saw a headline of something about, cats loading up a blockchain, and I thought it was a joke, but apparently it's an actual thing.
Oh, it's a real thing. It's a big-time real thing.
And who was it? CNBC apparently has even reported on this.
They're doing some coverage of it, but I got to say, I mean, I'm pretty heavy on Twitter, and the Bitcoin community there, or I should say the blockchain community, has been having a lot of fun with this whole thing. But we'll talk a little bit about this, and then we'll talk about some points. So, again, this comes to us from CNBC. Meet CryptoKitties, the $100,000 digital beanie babies, epitomizing the cryptocurrency mania.
All right. Tell me more.
All right. Think breedable beanie babies. That's a better way of putting it.
Hold on. So is this like those stupid Tamagotchi things, but with a blockchain for some reason? Because, there's always the person that thinks everything would be better with a blockchain.
You bet. And I think this is a really interesting way to go. And this kind of talks about the economics of it. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a preface about what this is.
Yes, please do.
A lot of people don't even really understand what Bitcoin and a blockchain and Ethereum, which is another digital asset that's out there, what they are and what they do. So real quickly, there's this thing, a design called a blockchain, which means that every transaction is recorded and it is immutable, which means it can't be changed. Things that are written to a blockchain stay there. And it's also decentralized.
Except for the Ethereum blockchain, where they did wind up and undo some stuff at one time.
They did do a little, there was a little redo there, but I'm trying to just explain the technology. Yep. So you have this database that continually keeps itself up to date. It's distributed across, tens of thousands of computers all over the world, and they all have to agree that what is written there is actually there. So in the case of Bitcoin, what that does is it keeps track of balances on like a financial ledger, so that if the entry for my wallet says, I own 21 Bitcoins, then all those different computers will agree upon that. And if I send 10 Bitcoins to Darryl, then they will see that transaction and they'll debit me 10. They'll add 10 to his wallet.
If you do want to send me 10 Bitcoin, I'll send you my address and you can get that done.
If I had 10 to send.
Well, you just said you had 21.
If the 21,
I'm holding you to that.
Sort of a joke. The 21 Bitcoin club is the wealthiest of the wealthy now.
Yes, because Bitcoin earlier today crossed $16,000.
That's old news, Darryl. It crossed $17,000. The price I'm showing right now is $17,424. That's on GDAX. And
see, I had not paid attention to the price since the Bitcoin meetup that we had this afternoon. Right. And then I went to the gym and got some other stuff done, and then now we're doing this.
The price of Bitcoin, I'm going to stop posting about it on social media because I just look like an idiot. One day I'm like, woohoo, we hit 10,000. The next day, it's like we hit 11 and 12. And today we hit 16, 17, 18 at one point with some exchanges. Some exchanges reported 19 and 20. So there's a whole lot of interest, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But back to the technology. Here is this database that keeps track of things like the number of Bitcoins that exist in wallets and who owns them. That's the first thing, even though that ownership can be mostly anonymous. In Ethereum, you kind of have the same thing. It's still a blockchain-based technology, but you can also add things to it. Ethereum has sort of its own programming language, And the promise of Ethereum was that you could do smart contracts and things like that. Make it so that if X happens and Y happens, then Z is the output. That, it could be Darryl and I Darryl agrees to sell me his not a bus. I agree to pay him, and once Ian has verified that both he and I have done that, then the money would be transferred.
Right, and that's a very simplistic version of a smart contract. Most of these smart contracts and what they call the tokens, they have these very elaborate, long things they call white papers, and they are many, many pages long, and nobody can, really read and understand all of what's on there, but people just click, I agree.
Yep.
Just like they do with the end-user licensing agreements when you sign up for, say, a Facebook account or something else of, do you agree to the terms of service? And everybody just clicks yes.
Yeah, very much. That's the kind of thing that happens. So because Ethereum actually has this programming language, people are realizing that there's more that can be done on the Ethereum blockchain. And one of the things is, let's see if we could program a picture of a cat.
Okay.
So that cat, I'm going to program this little image of a cute little kitty, and because the blockchain can never go away and that anything written to it is there, then that cat exists, and that cat exists once, and somebody has ownership of that cat.
And I'm on the website right now for CryptoKitties. It's CryptoKitties.co. And they're pictures of little cartoon cats. It says collectible, breedable, adorable, start meow.
Okay, so here's the breedable part. Darryl goes out and buys a crypto kitty because
that is 100% unique, not like any other cat. It cannot be replicated, taken away, or destroyed.
Right.
According to CryptoKitties.co.
So Darryl buys a kitty, and he likes his first kitty so much, he buys a second kitty. Now, once you have two kitties, and what Darryl said, these both have unique properties, Darryl could then cause these two digital cats to breed and produce a digital kitten.
I'm getting lesbian cats.
Or you could just keep your, they could just be best friends or whatever. But because of the uniqueness and because of the scarcity and because of what may be desirable qualities in these cats, they're being bought and sold online. There have been sales of up to $100,000 for a digital cat.
All right, and I'm scrolling down on the page here again for CryptoKitties, and they show a little brown kitty, a little heart, and then a little like greenish kitty with some stripes equals egg. I'm sorry, but cats don't lay eggs.
You're getting wrapped up in the details. I'm going to go back to the story.
I am getting wrapped up in the cats don't lay eggs.
How do you know about digital cats? Maybe digital cats do. So you don't know anything about digital cats. Think breedable beanie babies, so states the fact for CryptoKitties, a new game for collecting, breeding, and selling digital cats that is so popular, it is clogging up the network of digital currency Ethereum. Players have spent an equivalent of $6.7 million and counting buying CryptoKitties, which can sell for as much as $114,481.59, according to third-party research from developer Niel de la Rovore.
What the hell is wrong with people?
The median price of a kitty is $25.04. Just 3 days ago, the site had logged $1.3 million in sales. Quote, the popularity of virtual cats fits the euphoria we see elsewhere in the cryptocurrency space. Peter Atwater, who studies market sentiment and heads Financial Insights, said in an email, it feels very reminiscent of the Candy Crush craze that helped propel the King Entertainment IPO back at the peak of the unicorn era in mid-2004.
So I've got a lot of questions about this CryptoKitty. Why are people spending, you said like $1,600 for a digital cat? Do you have to clean a digital litter box?
$25 you can get one.
What would you spend $24,000 on a digital cat because it's on the blockchain and therefore different? This is Free Talk Live, 855-450 free.
The young lady from the rescue delivered happy, and I panicked. He was missing hair, stinky, scabby, and I thought, what did I get us into? The cause of his issue was poor nutrition. It was neglect. The other owners didn't care enough about him to give him the nutrition he needed. But I have a vet that I trust, and she recommended Dinovite, DINOVITE.com. I ordered the first 90-day supply, and within a couple weeks, his skin started clearing up. He didn't smell. He had more energy. He just had a glow and a bounce about him. We've been using Dinovite for the last year, and Happy the rescue dog is Happy the healthy dog. I tell all my friends who have rescues to give their dog the chance at a new start with Dinovite. It's going to pay off for you and your dog for years to come.
859-428-1000. 859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Dash is digital cash, a digital currency designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy, fees are low, and transactions are confirmed instantly. Pay anyone, anywhere in the world, anytime, for just pennies on the dollar. Dash is the first digital money that's governed by its users. Join Dash and help us build a better financial system for everyone. Find out more at dash.org. That's dash.org.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We're talking about the kitties that are clogging up the blockchain. CryptoKitties. Apparently it's a better kind of pet because you don't actually have to feed it or clean a litter box. But also, again, it's clogging up the Ethereum blockchain, and that seems to be causing some problems. But maybe you actually want digital currency, not just digital cats. Well, consider looking into Dash and joining Dash. Dash is digital cash. It's a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast, it's easy, it can be private, the fees are low, and transactions are fast or can even be confirmed instantly. You can pay anyone, anywhere in the world, anytime for just pennies. Dash is decentralized, run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Anyone can invest in Dash and earn rewards for helping run the network. Join Dash and help create a better financial system for everyone. Take back control over your financial future today. Find out more at dash.org. There's a lot of momentum behind Dash, so go right now to dash.org and find out why.
Is there as much momentum as there is behind CryptoKitties, Darryl?
Well, there's not as many cat memes, if that's the question. I'm looking on the FAQ for CryptoKitties, and yeah, this just seems... I'm not going to wind up saying that the people that created it are idiots, because, clearly you've got to be very intelligent to come up with an idea of people are going to buy digital pets.
Right.
And they've made a lot of money off of it.
They have, and they are. It's kind of hard to look at this and not see it burning out. Like, the
pet rock.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's...
Oh, now there's the USB-connected pet rock.
Well, that I'd buy. But we've seen
connecting it to the USB doesn't do anything. It's still just a pet rock.
That's okay.
But it's got a USB cable for some reason.
That's forward-looking. But the thing is a lot of times these things, become sort of flashes in a pan, and sometimes they're that kind of silly thing that just causes people to look at the technology, and that's why I don't really bash the whole idea of CryptoKitties. I'm going back to the story here. Created by Vancouver-based Axiom Zen, CryptoKitties launched to 200 users on Thanksgiving and was open to the public last Tuesday. More than 41,000 unique kittens have been sold already, according to Delarore's data, but CryptoKitties' popularity indicates blockchain technology still has a long way to go to reach its hype. CryptoKitties accounted for about 13.5% of the power on the Ethereum network Wednesday morning, said Benjamin Roberts, co-founder and CEO of Citizen Hex, an Ethereum-focused startup backed by 3 Canadian venture funds. With CryptoKitties, every Ethereum user has suddenly taken on the computational overhead of running a mainstream application, Roberts said in an email. The overhead not only affects CryptoKitty transactions, but every transaction on the Ethereum network.
And
so what this means is just like CryptoKitties is this application that's running on top of the Ethereum blockchain.
Yes.
There are hundreds of other applications and tokens and things like that that are running on top of Ethereum. I took the time to check out the average, transactions by day.
Okay.
And Ethereum used to be something less than Bitcoin. Fewer transactions were occurring.
Right.
There has been a very rapid increase with all these other tokens and digital currencies sitting on top of Ethereum to where it passed Bitcoin. And then on November 1st, you see what I refer to as the digital kitten effect, where the number of transactions on Ethereum go through the roof, and that's sort of what's going on here.
And there's definitely more to this, but first, let's go to the phones, or actually to the Skype, where we've got Stefan calling in from Ohio. Stefan, you're on Free Talk Live with Darryl and Chris. Go ahead with your thoughts.
I'm surprised that you're surprised that virtual pets are making a lot of money. They did in the 90s, too, if you remember Tamagotchis.
Yeah, I thought it was stupid in the 90s.
It doesn't matter what you think, Darryl. It matters.
People still bought it.
Exactly. And there have been lots of things through history that seem, either at the time or in retrospect, to a whole lot of people as ridiculous ideas, but they still
Right, but that's
something.
why I'm surprised, because it's such a ridiculous idea.
Fast forward 5 years, come up with your own kitten-related venture, and you'll make millions then too, Darryl.
Anyway, did you guys hear about Al Franken's resignation from the Senate? He's planning on resigning in the next few weeks based on some allegations he had.
I saw that, and then somebody posted that he had resigned. So I'm Googling right now.
I saw something that there was going to either be a special election or the governor might wind up appointing someone, which led me to believe that he had resigned.
No, he's going to be resigning in the coming weeks, he said.
Okay.
I actually have a theory as to why he's resigning. Everybody thinks it's for the idea of having a moral high ground. My theory is that he's just trying to save the Democratic seat. Because if he were the Democratic nominee next year in the 2018 Senate elections, these allegations would undoubtedly have a huge impact on how electable he is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I suspect you're right.
And, you know, I guess, and a lot of people bring up the comparison, well, Al Franken is resigning, so why isn't Donald Trump resigning? And I don't think they understand how politics works.
And Al Franken would not be up for election next year. He would be up in 2020 because he got reelected in 2014. But yeah, the point still stands of, you know, if he winds up resigning, then there's going to be, you know, like less focus on him, and then something. But during the midterm election, the president's party generally does worse than they did in the election when the president and his party wound up getting elected. So the Democrats are probably going to wind up picking up some seats anyway. So whether Franken stayed in or not, I don't know how much bearing it would have had. But again, it would just have, you know, a little less talk about the allegations.
I think both sides are doing their best to purge their own as these things come to light. Nobody wants the...
Except for the National Republican Party, who's going all in behind Roy Moore instead of begging him to drop out.
Well, there is that.
Their strategy there is different. Their strategy is, let's get Roy Moore elected, and then on day one, we're going to attempt to expel him.
Right.
And that's what makes me angry about partisanship. You're willing to get a child molester inside of the Senate just to expel him because you're afraid the other corrupt party is going to get a seat.
And based on polls that I'm seeing, the Democrat in that race has a 1% lead right now. And,
it's gone back and forth.
Right, it has, but the fact that Alabama, which is a very solid Republican state at state and national level politics, the fact that there's a Democrat currently leading in the Senate race,
right?
I think it's got some Republicans scared. Stefan, thank you for the call. Your calls and thoughts welcome. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Thoughts on the allegations against Al Franken or CryptoKitties and digital pets? This is Free Talk Live.
Want revenge on the common housefly? Well, after 10,000 years, someone has finally come up with a better way. The Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic and no batteries required. So much fun, you'll forget you have a wife and kids. $39.95 and free economy shipping. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Makes the perfect stocking stuffer. Get your Bug Assault today.
Frustrated trying to get business capital? Want to take the slow process and rejection out of the equation? GCNloans.com removes the slow, irritating approval process. Instead, get quick, simple funding. Powered by David Allen Capital, 80% of our pre-qualified clients are approved in days. Pre-qualify at GCNloans.com and get your money this week. It's that easy. GCNloans.com. That's GCNloans.com.
A new teen trend of walking wet and nude couldn't have caught on at a worse time, and a taxpayer is outraged. And lo, the Lord said unto the Israelites, look unto the heavens, and you shall see a news review program to rival the greatest wonders of the earth. This is the Onion Week in Review. As a front of dense, frigid air and snow showers brought sub-zero temperatures to much of the country this week, Canton, Ohio residents noted that the blanketing of snow they had received created the illusion that their town was not a total shithole. Residents added that unlike its typical depressing reality, the snow-cloaked town actually looked halfway livable.
Canton is usually a miserable little dump, but you know when that first snow fell and covered everything in a layer of white powder? It for about 5 minutes, it was like not everything I saw depressed the living out of me.
Reports from locals also confirmed that for a brief period, the streets, parks, and buildings around them gave the surprising impression of not being a rundown, heartbreaking excuse for a hometown.
This is the Onion News Network.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it! You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can join us on the telephones 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. In studio tonight, it's Darryl.
And Chris.
And maybe you want to join us online when we're not live on the show. You can do that by joining the forums. Yes, we're talking old-fashioned forums. It's not Facebook. It's not Twitter. It's better. It's the forums. Forum.freetalklive.com. A lot of the hosts are there. It's very active for a forum. Again, forum.freetalklive.com. We're talking about CryptoKitties.
Yes, we are.
And, you know, when I first saw something about the blockchain as being loaded up with cats, I was, what? What? And now that I'm hearing about it, I'm still, what?
So here's how I relate it to people.
Yes.
Bitcoin is a store of value.
Ethereum is a store of kitties.
Kitties, yeah. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the last we were talking about this, this has caused a tremendous amount of new load to be placed on the Ethereum blockchain, which has impacts on other things that are riding on top of it, like Project Sophia TX, which postponed its token sale by 48 hours this week to Thursday due to network congestion by CryptoKitties. CryptoKitties has also had to raise its birthing fee at least twice due to network congestion. A birthing fee would be the fee you would pay if you want to breed 2 of your kitties to produce a third.
And so while we're talking about that, I've got the FAQs pulled up. And under breeding, it says, can't you just create new CryptoKitties? Not exactly. Blockchain technology prevents us from tampering with the ecosystem we have built, which protects our CryptoKitty from artificial inflation or the digital collectible equivalent of insider trading. Once all the Generation Zero CryptoKitties are gone, there's no way for us to add more. But again, you can breed your cats. So you have 2 cats, you can breed them. Yes, any 2 cats, because the next question is my CryptoKitty a dame or a sire, a boy or a girl, a mommy or a daddy? It's the 21st century. Let's ease up on the labels. Every CryptoKitty can play the role of dame or sire. However, a CryptoKitty can only be one at a time. For example, your dame can't sire while expecting, and vice versa.
Well, that's okay. What happens on the blockchain stays on the blockchain.
And apparently it's really easy to breed your CryptoKitties. You go to My Kitties, select the cat that you want to be the dad, press the breed button. Then choose the cat you want to be the mama, and then approve the Ether transactions.
And this costs about 0.002 Ether, or at least it used to, about 90 cents. Yes. They just increased this from about 90 cents to 0.015 Ether, which is actually about $6.69. So more money is flowing into creation of new cats. This is a tweet from CryptoKitties about this. Due to congestion on the network, we are increasing the birthing fee from 0.002 Ether to 0.015 Ether. We hope this will allow more kittens to be born on time, as there have been significant delays.
Right, and those delays are because of the backlog, what's called the mem pool, where you have the backlogged transactions, because blockchain can only process a certain number of transactions every so many minutes. And that's one of the problems. It's not just with Ethereum. There's been the debate about Bitcoin and basically every other cryptocurrency of scalability.
Sure. And that's going to continue to come up. And I have this conversation daily, probably because I talk to too many people in the crypto world. But all these things work really well when it's at very small numbers and there has not been widespread adoption. But there's going to be growing pains in the crypto world, and Bitcoin has certainly already experienced them. A system that will maintain exact duplicates of a database across thousands and thousands of computers, for that to scale to like Visa limits, which is somewhere around 1,600, 1,700 transactions a second. I think that's the
it's
number.
A lot. I don't know. And then PayPal has a huge number of transactions per second.
Right, but the advantage to those systems is they are completely centralized. All they have to do is build up massive computing power in one single place. Now, because of that, PayPal or Visa, if one of those goes down, then that can impact a whole lot of people. Blockchain technology is more resilient because it's spread out, but it's also going to be inherently less efficient because you have to propagate all these changes over a wide area. And
so what are your thoughts? And definitely, if you're listening and you have thoughts on this, call in as well. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. What are your thoughts on cryptos for very specific reasons? So, for instance, there's the IOTA that's supposed to be the crypto for Internet of Things. Mm-hmm. There's been a caller called in about Potcoin that's supposed to be used for cannabis transactions. Now, why anybody would use that to basically advertise, yes, I'm doing something that's federally illegal.
Well, hopefully,
I don't know
hopefully
why.
There's some anonymity built into some of those.
Right, but and then I know that there are some tokens on the Ethereum platform that have very specific use cases.
Right.
But they're not standalone things.
Yeah, I because this is technology, and the bulk of this technology is open source, which means that anybody can take it, anybody can modify it, anybody can come up with their own, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I could care less how many there are. As a retailer, I hope that as time goes on, that the the medium of exchange between people and businesses will settle on one of these. Because, folks, I can tell you this, in another 10 years, it's not going to be MasterCard, Visa, or cash. You are going to be using digital currencies. It may be digital currencies that are put out by a government. I certainly hope not, because that's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
It may be digital currencies that are put out by a central bank, also a horrible idea.
Yes.
I hope that
the existence of a central bank is a horrible idea.
I do hope it is free market solutions like what Bitcoin or Dash or Bitcoin Cash or any of hundreds others are. I hope that those are what people choose, and I hope that a couple major players emerge out of that and that they get really, really good at what they do. That's my hope.
Right. And you mentioned Visa and MasterCard. Not a lot of people pay attention on, any kind of regular basis. There's also Discover and American Express.
Sure.
A lot less popular. So it could wind up being that, say, Bitcoin or Dash becomes, the Visa version of cryptocurrency. Something else becomes the MasterCard version, and they're the two most popular for, day-to-day transactions. And then you also have, your American Express version sort of thing to where, some people take it. It's not necessarily anywhere near as popular, but,
right.
It's still there, and it's, top 5.
Well, what I think is really unique about cryptocurrencies, and I've been brainstorming something in my mind, and that is, how can a customer come in with any cryptocurrency that has value, and if it belongs to a list of anything, I can do a transaction real quickly. Like I sort of recognize what they have, and I accept it. Because that's how it is to me. I don't care what you come in and spend. If it has value to me, I'll probably hold on to it for a while. If I'm skeptical about it, I'll probably flip it real quick and convert it into something I do value.
Right, and that's why things like Shapeshift are very handy, to where it does allow that sort of exchange, but not necessarily as quickly as you would want for retail use.
Perhaps.
Your calls and thoughts welcome. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733.
Whether you share content as a curator or produce it as a creator, the source of your advertising revenue is often limited by intermediaries like YouTube. What if there was a way to connect content creators directly with advertisers, decentralizing attention-based market advertising transactions and putting the control back into the hands of content owners? Introducing the revolutionary Signal Token Protocol by Spective VR. Partnered with Blend Media, the largest network of 360 video content in the world, and featured on Fox Business's Innovations, Spective VR is a 360 VR streaming platform created to be the first use case and early adopter of the Signal Token Protocol, driving real use and allowing Spective to optimize their platform. SpectiveVR.com is hosting a pre-ICO for Signal tokens starting December 8th at a 40% bonus. For early access to the token sale and an exclusive 60% token bonus, sign up for the email list at SpectiveVR.com.
Guys, wouldn't your wife or girlfriend love it if you treated her to the very best this Christmas? Well, you can, and you don't even have to go out of your way. We're talking about the world's softest pajamas, available exclusively at Pajamagram.com. That's Pajamagram.com. Created by a team of dedicated pajama experts, the world's softest pajamas are lighter than a cloud, softer than a bunny, like cashmere, only better. She'll love the way the world's softest pajamas feel, and you'll love the way they look. More than a gift, they're a feeling, an invitation to relax a little longer. The world's softest pajamas are available only at Pajamagram.com. Visit today and give her a gift that keeps on giving, to both of you. Plus, you don't even have to wrap, because every Pajamagram includes free gift packaging, and Christmas delivery is guaranteed. So visit Pajamagram.com or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too, you know.
Oh, well, look, I've invented this little anti-gravity machine, see?
Oh, is that why you're walking 2 inches above the floor?
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and, of course, OSHA.
OSHA? I thought that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and the Transportation...
It's very hard to get anything done these days if you're in business, but free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service of this station and the Center for the Defense of Free Enterprise, Bellevue, Washington.
We just can't have people floating about unregulated, you know.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855 450 free. That's 855 450 3733. In studio, it's Darryl.
And Chris.
And, you know, we've been talking about cryptocurrencies and not so much Bitcoin so far tonight, but we're about to. And, well, maybe you want to stay up to date on Bitcoin news and news about other cryptocurrencies. Head over to news.bitcoin.com. That's news.bitcoin.com. And that's actually where we got the next story. And, you know, this is something that really hits home to me. Headline, stop dwelling on your I should have Bitcoin anxiety. And Chris, you were at the Free State Blockchain Digital Assets Conference last week.
I was. What a great time.
And another one of the speakers was Doug Scribner, who, a friend of the show, Amplifier. He's called in several times. He pointed out something that I did about 6 years ago. During his presentation. I wasn't in the room for his presentation, but he came and told me about it, and then he showed me the Facebook post, and then earlier today I was just curious, when exactly was this? Because I know he said, you know, it was about 6 years ago. We're 1 week shy of it being 6 years where I posted on Facebook, I have 5.94 something Bitcoin looking to sell for $16.
Yeah. He did post that. That was an amazing moment during the conference.
Let's do the math real quick, Chris, let's just round up to 6 times about 17,000.
I'll say 6 times 20, 120,000.
And that's if I would have just kept those.
Right.
And that's not counting the other Bitcoin that I wound up selling around the same time, where I had about 16 Bitcoin come and go very quickly.
Yeah.
That I sold all combined for less than $100 because it was right after Mt. Gox got hacked. And I said, I don't know about this Bitcoin thing anymore.
Yeah, one of the few wallets that are not, I directly control my keys that I do like is blockchain.info. So blockchain.info.
Well, they didn't have a wallet at this time in 2011.
That's okay. But what they do is they keep your keys, but they keep them encrypted in such a way that not even they can see them, which is, one step better than, trusting an exchange to hold your keys.
Right. And the only reason I had created that account on Mt. Gox is because I wanted to buy some Bitcoin. And at the time, the only place you could buy Bitcoin was Mt. Gox. The only wallets you could have were either something on an exchange. I think there was something called the Bitcoin Bank. And then there was also, you could download a command line thing to run on your computer.
Right.
So it was not the easy to use thing at the time. Somebody wanted to pay me, actually several somebodies wanted to pay me for stuff in Bitcoin, and I said, okay, but I'm going to sell it right away. And they said, yeah, okay, whatever, I just want to use this stuff. And yeah, I'm having, that I should be a millionaire right now anxiety. So this, again, from news.bitcoin.com, hits really close to me. Article begins. So let's get it straight. You should be a Bitcoin millionaire right now. Only you're not, because A, you sold too soon, you bought too late, you disregarded your mate's advice, you lost your hard drive, you went all in on Feathercoin. Welcome to the club.
I was just going to finish my thought on blockchain.info's online wallet, and it's simply this. Blockchain.info lets you see your list of transactions.
Yes.
And it lets you see some details about that. So I'm just looking at one transaction today.
Yep.
And if I look at the list, it says that I sent $1,044, which means I bought something. But if I look at the detail of this was on September 4th, 2015. When I look at the details, the value when I sent it was $14.20.
Yeah.
Which sounds suspiciously like maybe that was
lunch.
Yeah. And so literally,
hold on. What was the date of that again?
September 4th, 2015. That very well may have been, it sounds like it might have been Local Burger.
That would have been a Friday, so it would not have been Social Sunday, but yeah, probably you went to Local Burger.
Yeah, so I probably had a hamburger, and in today's dollars in Bitcoin, I spent $1,049.05 on that.
How you like that $1,000 hamburger?
The point is my life is filled with these. I was just a friend of ours who did some work on our house before we moved here to New Hampshire. I asked him when he got there, do you want us to give you a check? Do you want cash? Do you want Bitcoin? So I paid him, $1,200, $1,300 in Bitcoin at that time.
Yeah.
And that is a number I don't even want to think about. But the point is, what difference does it make? None. Right. None at this point. I'll drive myself nuts, but it makes no difference.
Right. And I don't regret any of the purchases that I have ever made with Bitcoin.
Right. Because they were that dollar amount at that time.
$34,000 Nautilus, I don't regret. Where it was the equivalent of 2 Bitcoin at the time that I cashed out, and I bought it with cash, but I cashed out the Bitcoin to make the purchase. I don't regret that at all.
Right.
But the regrets that I have are just when I sold Bitcoin for nothing.
But
$15.
What were your circumstances at the time, though? That's the whole thing.
I didn't need the $15. I just didn't want to hold the Bitcoin because I didn't trust it because Mt. Gox had just gotten hacked.
Gotcha.
And that was the only place that you could buy Bitcoin at the time.
Right. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Mt. Gox was like the one place early on that you could actually go and buy Bitcoin.
Right. Do you know what Mt. Gox stands for?
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering Online Exchange. It was a place where nerds could go exchange Magic the Gathering cards, and one of the nerds said, how about Bitcoin?
Well, Mark Karpelis owned the domain name, and when they were talking about opening a Bitcoin exchange, he's like, well, I already own this one. His wife said, it sounds really cool, so let's just use that one.
Yeah.
But Mt. Gox was a real mess, and a lot of it was, most people would agree, due to Mark Karpelis. He just didn't. He kept everything about the business very close to himself. He We're talking about something that started out with, tens of dollars flying back and forth and ended up being the largest Bitcoin exchange in the world and, millions of dollars. And he had problems with scaling. And in the end,
had problems with creditors who decided, you know what, give me US dollars in payment. The thing went belly up, but now because he had all the Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin has skyrocketed. He's now solvent, but there are problems where I think it's the Japanese government aren't letting him wind up cash out the Bitcoin or something.
Right. Well, he initially had said that it was all wiped out, it was all gone, and that hackers had taken it.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating story, and it's just one of those things. And it also happened around the time that a guy named Charlie Shrem, who was the founder of BitInstant, got busted, and it was a real dark time for Bitcoin. It's interesting to see it all come back.
Yeah. So there's definitely more to this article about the Bitcoin I should have anxiety and why you should stop dwelling on it. Again, they say you should be a Bitcoin millionaire right now, but you're not because you sold too soon, you bought too late, you disregarded your mate's advice, you lost your hard drive, and how many times have we read stories of that?
Oh, yeah.
Or you went all in on Feathercoin. Welcome to the club. You're not alone, but the knowledge will come as little comfort when you're lying awake at night, cursing your own stupidity. We can't turn back time, but we can dispense some sound advice that should help you put your hard luck story in perspective. You missed the boat. You skipped the party. If you're late to the Bitcoin party, or worse still, if you left before the party truly got started, the regret can be crippling. Every new all-time high drives another dagger into the stricken heart, while the sight of young bucks who've never read Satoshi's white paper, drunk, or bull market gains is sickening. At least one story has surfaced of an early adopter spiraling into depression after losing all of their Bitcoins and eventually committing suicide. There's more, and hopefully this gets happier. This is Free Talk Live, 855-450 free.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, December 6th, 2017. Silver is trading at $15.85 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,256 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 6.4 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $15,095. Antiwar.com reports calls by the United Nations for a humanitarian ceasefire in Yemen and calls by the U.S. government for the Saudis to end the blockade of Yemen both appear to have fallen on deaf ears, with the blockade continuing so far and Saudi warplanes attacking the Yemeni capital with even more intensity than before. While Saudi airstrikes over the weekend were presented as an effort to support former Yemeni President Ali Abdullah Saleh in switching sides, Saleh's death on Monday meant the Saudi coalition has rebranded the attacks as focusing on avenging Saleh. The Saudi coalition appears eager to facilitate this, with United Arab Emirates Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan visiting Saleh's exiled son to offer condolences and raising speculation that the younger Saleh could soon be sent to Yemen to try to lead what's left of the Saleh forces. Saleh's GPC and the Houthis are the two main factions in northern Yemen, and the Houthis have followed up the death of Saleh by seizing his home and the homes of several of his relatives. The Saudis have subsequently bombed Saleh's house, which ironically is what they did at the start of the war that led Saleh to align with the Houthis in the first place. The war and blockade has killed thousands and put millions on the brink of starvation in North Yemen. The Saudi strikes are continuing to worsen that crisis, and in the capital of Sana'a, many civilians are basically trapped inside their homes. Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organization to show up in an emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare to the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no-gov license. Cell 411, because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com. UPI reports the U.S. House passed a bill Wednesday that would allow concealed carry permit holders to conceal carry their weapons in any other state. The Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act passed 231 to 198 in the House, with 6 Democrats voting for it and 14 Republicans voting against. The bill had support from the National Rifle Association, which praised its passage. Chris Cox, executive director of the NRA, said in a statement, "This vote marks a watershed moment for Second Amendment rights. The Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act is the culmination of a 30-year movement recognizing the right of all law-abiding Americans to defend themselves and their loved ones, including when they cross state lines." The author of the bill, Representative Richard Hudson of North Carolina, said concealed carry permits should be treated like driver's licenses or marriage licenses, which are recognized across state lines. During House floor debate, Hudson said, "If I get married in North Carolina but move to Arizona, I'm not suddenly a single man. They recognize that marriage. The concealed carry permit should be recognized the same way." But Democrats who opposed the bill said that more lenient gun laws open the door for more gun violence. The bill also proposes improvements to the FBI National Instant Criminal Background Check system and requires a response within 60 days to people who believe they were mistakenly added to the system. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports a gay man who was denied a marriage license in Kentucky 2 years ago by a county clerk who refused to issue licenses for same-sex marriages will run to unseat her next year. David Ermold of Moorhead, Kentucky, announced his candidacy as a Democrat against Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis, who drew worldwide attention when she refused to grant the licenses to same-sex couples, citing her religious beliefs. Ermold and his partner were one of the 4 couples who sued Davis. After his campaign announcement on Facebook, Ermold told Reuters, "We need to restore the integrity of that office. I wasn't treated fairly myself." Davis intends to seek re-election as a Republican in 2018. She spent 5 days in jail in September 2015 after refusing a court order to issue marriage licenses following the Supreme Court's decision legalizing same-sex marriage. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
The American Psychiatric Association has issued an alarming study warning that the nation's used car salesmen are going completely insane, and in some extreme cases, practically giving cars away. The APA traces the outbreak of widespread hysteria to an apparent overstock of high-quality late-model cars begging to be driven off the lot today. Some severe symptoms include delusions, manic exuberance, and a psychotic commitment to offer the lowest prices guaranteed. Victims' families are joining together to raise awareness of this serious psychological epidemic.
The authorities found out how unbelievably low his prices were. They'd lock him up and throw away the key.
You are not alone. Over half of America's used car salesmen are currently going bonkers.
Car dealers suffering from this condition are prone to project their own disorders onto others. According to Mad Max, the Car Czar's website, you're out of your mind if you're not taking advantage of these low, low prices.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live. This is Free Talk Live, kicking off hour number 2 in studio. It's Darryl
and Chris,
and we're talking about the what I heard a podcast refer to as bit hurt. It's like being butt hurt, but it's Bitcoin related, where you're a little bit hurt because you think you should be a millionaire, but you made bad decisions. And, well, there's an article from news.bitcoin.com that says, hey, stop kicking yourself. Yeah, there's some bad stories out there, but this is meant to be an uplifting piece, not a morbid one. Thankfully, most people who miss the boat suffer nothing worse than a bad case of hindsight. If that's you, stop beating yourself up. There are 3 reasons to be cheerful, but before we consider them, let's consider the psychology of luck. And we'll get into this. And, of course, your calls are welcome. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. So you're shopping for groceries, and you pick the line that looks the fastest. To your chagrin, the one next to you turns out to be quicker, leaving you waiting in line behind the old lady clutching 9,000 coupons. Sound familiar? There's a simple reason why. Statistically, you're more likely to pick the slowest line. With a line on either side, the odds of calling it correct are just 1 in 3. What's this have to do with cryptocurrencies? Well, if you bought Bitcoin in 2013, for example, the odds of having HODLed, and I hate that word. I absolutely hate that word. Chris, real quick, can you explain what a hodler is?
This goes back several years to Bitcoin Talk forums. And one guy who was frustrated that he wasn't buying...
And drunk
on whiskey.
He makes it clear at like 9 o'clock in the morning he was drinking whiskey.
Yeah, he was a bit under the...
And tried typing the headline several times.
And instead of saying hold, he kept typing HODL, HODL. So he goes on with this long story about how his girlfriend was out at a lesbian bar and why can't I trade better, and you guys are the true pros, and I know I tried to correct this headline 5 times, and on and on and on, but it just became sort of an instant joke in the Bitcoin community. So now when we talk about holding your Bitcoins, everybody says HODL.
Yeah, and if there were crypto Olympics, there would be the 100-meter HODLs. So it says, again, if you bought in 2013, the odds of having HODLed till now are much lower than 1 in 3. In fact, they're more like 1 in 20. When you see Bitcoin whales screenshotting their fat portfolios, it's easy to assume that this is the norm, that everyone else is getting served fast in the store. But the reality is that most people are in the same boat as you, one which is several links behind the boat they'd rather be in. Now, there are some reasons to be cheerful. They say knowing that most Bitcoiners have screwed up just as bad as you will provide scant consolation. The following points should provide succor, however, and double your resolve to make amends. We're privileged to live in a time where it's possible to acquire wealth through little more than pushing a few buttons and waiting. There's no need to climb chimneys, descend into coal mines, or go to war. You might not make it to Lambo land, but it's a more sensible buy and hold strategy. There's every reason to be confident of a turn of profit. You know how all those early adopters from 2013 and prior got rich? They bought Bitcoin and then held on tight through times of low income and 80% crashes and lean years where nothing happened. They earned their success. So have some patience and you might earn yours. Reason number 2, unless you want to discuss reason number 1.
Yeah, no, go ahead. That one's pretty clear.
If Bitcoin continues on the trajectory that many have predicted, missing out on the first $10,000 to $15,000 will be like grumbling because you bought Bitcoin when it was $1 instead of a penny. Sure, there's no certainties in this game, but presumably you knew that and accepted the risk before you signed up.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting point, and I've seen memes already like poking fun at this, Talk to my grandkids about Bitcoin. Got in when it was only $10,000. It was a joke,
Right.
How could you make any money at $10,000? Well, today it crossed 18,000, which means nearly doubling your money within maybe a week, a little bit over. So I personally have a much longer view of Bitcoin. This isn't something anymore that I'm looking at as something that could hit possibly $10,000, which a year ago was almost unimaginable in the near future.
Right.
I think it's realistic to see this since it's past somewhere around 70% of the net worth of the S&P 500. It's somewhere in the 13 or 14 range. If Bitcoin is a currency, we're in the S&P. It's almost bigger than Walmart, but I did see it went past Home Depot. And some other companies like that.
I was looking at some of the stuff earlier today, and Bitcoin's market cap is larger than Google and Amazon, I believe.
Wow. Then it's moved further than I had known. That's the whole thing with this market. It's
the market cap, and this was when I was looking earlier today, and price has gone up since then.
Right.
The market cap for Bitcoin was about $260 billion. Google is worth like $100 billion.
Which, to be fair, and also in that, it also means that the market cap of Bitcoin is larger than Citigroup and JP Morgan Chase.
Right.
To throw some names out there that have not been real friendly towards Bitcoin. So I think it's short-sighted. This was a Barron's article. One analyst expects that it will exceed. His target is the total market cap, if you will, of all currencies of all countries. And based on money in circulation, that would mean Bitcoin would be valued at somewhere around $361,000 a Bitcoin based on a couple days ago, so that's already all these numbers we throw out. As soon as we say them, they're irrelevant.
Right. Just like when I read the number here from the UK Independent of the most valuable companies, Google valued at $109 billion as of whenever they made this list. And that's the valuation sometime 2017. Most profitable, or not most profitable, but the most valuable, highest value brand. Apple, number 2 at $107 billion. Amazon, number 3 at $106.3 billion. And again, the market cap for just Bitcoin, not all cryptocurrency, but just Bitcoin earlier today was $263 billion. Let's get into the third reason to be cheerful that, you may have made some bad decisions, but keep your chin up because there are other crypto assets which can do a Bitcoin every single week and go stratospheric. Even if the Bitcoin boat is out of reach, there are plenty of other ships departing on a regular basis. Succeeding with such an enterprise calls for doing your own research, being patient, and as crazy as this might sound, actually putting in some work. Your judgment may be vindicated or you may get it horribly wrong, but provided you're not betting the house and the car on black, so to speak, there will be other chances to get in on the ground floor. Finally, if you're in Bitcoin solely to get rich, you're doing it wrong. Ask not what cryptocurrency can do for you. Ask what you can do for cryptocurrency.
Nice way to finish that up. To that last point, as I look at my blockfolio, my portfolio of things, Bitcoin is right around 50%, but I also have 10% in Dash, 10% in Bitcoin Cash, 10% in Ethereum, and a bunch of others. So I sort of make my own mutual fund.
What's your biggest Bitcoin regret, or what does your cryptofolio look like? 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733.
If your dog has shedding, dry skin, excessive scratching, I would recommend Dynovite.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite for your dog this week.
We'll send you a bottle of Super Mega Fish Oil free.
Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Free this week at Dynovite.com.
Just feed your dog right. Use Dynovite. Dynovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
Do you want to help build a better financial system for everyone? Join Dash. Dash is Digital Cash, a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy. Fees are low and transactions are confirmed instantly. Dash is decentralized, run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Dash is set up to succeed where other platforms have failed. Give it a try. Dash.org. Help people take control over their financial future today. Find out more at Dash.org.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Shop online and support Free Talk Live. Every purchase you make at shop.freetalklive.com helps spread a message of liberty. From shop.freetalklive.com, you can shop at places like Walmart, Newegg, Amazon UK, Amazon Canada, Omaha Steaks, HostGator, and more. Plus, you can get discounts on web hosting, legal documents, or pretty much anything using saveatpurse.com. Just bookmark the link and help Free Talk Live while shopping online. Thank you for shopping with shop.freetalklive.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450 free. That's 855-450-3733. Talking about cryptocurrencies. What's your biggest crypto regret? Did you sell all of your Bitcoin when it hit $10 that first time after, or actually the second time when it went up to like 30 and then came back down to 10? Did you get spooked and sell all of it then? Because you had made, like $100 because you bought it when it was $1. Maybe you wound up, making a purchase that you regretted. I do know some people that they regret some of their purchases.
Oh yeah.
I personally do not regret any of the purchases.
It was
I've
worth
made
that amount at that point in time.
Right.
Right.
But again, the thing where I just wound up selling to sell because I didn't trust the Bitcoin thing, those are the ones that I regret. But yeah, call in about that or whatever is on your mind. 855-450 free. Maybe you've got your private keys stored in a safe and you want to be able to keep an eye on that when you're not at home. Well, consider getting yourself a Blink home security system. You can get this thing delivered right to your door. You download an app on your smartphone, and it walks you through an easy setup. Even with a complicated router system, you should be able to get this set up in about 10 to 15 minutes. And you can get notifications whenever something moves in front of that wireless camera, or you can just check it whenever you want to right there from your smartphone. And we've got a deal for you. Get 3 Blink security cams for what the other guys charge for 1. That's right, 3 for the price of 1. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL, as in Free Talk Live. blinkprotect.com/FTL. All one word, one more time, blinkprotect.com/FTL. Let's go to the phones where we've got my other brother, Darryl, calling in from Austin, Texas. Darryl, you're on Free Talk Live with Darryl and Chris.
Yeah, well, the thing is I bought some Bitcoin, I think about $20 worth of it back in like 2012, 2013.
All right, so you bought like a Bitcoin.
Actually, I think how much I got was, I think it was less than a Bitcoin. It had gone up to like 200, and I got like.
Okay. That would have been like the tail end of 2013 when it went up that first time.
That's okay. You have some Bitcoin.
Yep.
Yeah, I had some Bitcoin, and then when it went up to like above 1,000 and dropped down to like 800 the first time, I think I went and got a Blu-ray ROM for my drive, which I don't regret getting. And then this time, I still had some left. Forgot about it when I found it was going up this high. I knew where my wallet was, got it back up and running, and I actually just bought a laptop and some other thing I need because I'm actually a computer professional.
Mm-hmm.
So my old laptop died and I needed one. So I still have like 0.01 in my wallet and a little bit left in purse in case I need something else to buy.
Nice.
Purse.io. So, nice. I mean, to me, that $20 has been a great investment for getting stuff I need.
Right.
And I don't regret spending the money because I do need these things.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. If we're going to beat ourselves up because we spent Bitcoin, we lost that, then we should be rejoicing every time we spend U.S. dollars. We should be just, yes, I was able to dump that stuff because the U.S. dollar is crashing. All this money that's flowing into Bitcoin is flowing from state-owned fiat currencies, number one. Then number two, the dollar itself. There was a recent story on Zero Hedge talking about how the dollar's down something like 9%. It's the worst performance of the dollar versus other currencies since 2003, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better. So your dollars are becoming worth less every single day. So rejoice when you spend U.S. dollars.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm getting ready to start putting some money into some Dash and maybe Ethereum, because here in Austin we have some Bitcoin ATM machines, and then one ATM machine actually does Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Nice.
Now, if I was to drive like 4 or 5 hours towards Dallas, there's a place there's a machine that actually does Dash.
Nice.
But I am looking at getting into Dash and Ethereum and kind of spreading out my cryptocurrency, because I do see that as the future. So, I've told people about it, and I've told a few people about it, and they have no idea what it is. Other people about it was like, yeah, I wish I would have gotten in early. But heck, I'm glad I got what I did get, and I was able to get what I got with it.
Right. I got to tell you a brief story, and that's we have a Bitcoin vending machine in our shop. Darryl's probably used it at some point.
Yes, more than once.
Right.
It's been a while, but I have used it.
And we did an upgrade so that it now sells Dash 2. Today we not only had, and we're running a little promotion where we'll sell you a very inexpensive paper wallet. And a paper wallet is a very secure way to buy Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. You load the keys onto a piece of paper, you seal the paper up, you put it in your safe or safety deposit box, and there's no internet connection, so it becomes virtually impossible to hack. So paper wallets are very popular, but we wanted to make it easy for people to buy Bitcoin or Dash. So we've been running this little promotion, $2.99 for a paper wallet, and we'll help you load it up, and it sort of helps people get it for the first time. We had a family come in, I guess it was Saturday. The dad bought a paper wallet, and he loaded it up with some, and his son was there, and he's like, well, my son wants to do this too. He has some money he saved. So the son bought some crypto. I think he got Bitcoin too.
Excellent.
The same family came back in today with their daughter. The daughter has been saving up her money, and she wanted to buy Dash. So we did a Dash paper wallet for her, and she put some of her money away into Dash. Now, what are
the a rough estimate of the ages of the kids? Oh, are we talking about, like
10 years.
High school, college age?
No. The girl today was maybe 10. Her brother that was in the other day was maybe 13, 14, something like that. Yeah, but they were just so psyched. And
that sounds very similar to something that we saw inside the Free State Bitcoin shop, where there was a 12-year-old boy that was showing his mom how to use the Bitcoin vending machine.
Later on today, we had a kid who was about 20 years old. He had brought his mom. I think she might have driven. Why? Because they had driven from Albany, New York. And how many miles?
That's about a 3-hour drive.
About a 3-hour drive, but the state of New York, with their bit license regulations, is such a horrible place that it's virtually impossible to easily buy cryptocurrency in the state. But they had driven like 3 hours to come to our shop, and his mom put in $500 worth, and I'm not sure exactly what he put in, but it was a considerable amount of money, and they were just so happy to have a place to come and be able to do that. Plus they bought some syrup. So
not only is that 3 hours, that's also completely across another entire state. So they drove from New York through Vermont, into New Hampshire.
Yeah. But we see this over and over, and it's just really exciting to see the look on people's faces when they're like, I've finally taken the step that I should have taken a long time ago.
Yeah.
Darryl. Yeah, Bitcoin's changing everything.
Yep, Darryl, thank you for the call. Your calls and thoughts welcome. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. What's your best Bitcoin experience? This is Free Talk Live.
Guys, wouldn't your wife or girlfriend love it if you treated her to the very best this Christmas? Well, you can, and you don't even have to go out of your way. We're talking about the world's softest pajamas, available exclusively at pajamagram.com. That's pajamagram.com. Created by a team of dedicated pajama experts, the world's softest pajamas are lighter than a cloud, softer than a bunny, like cashmere, only better. She'll love the way the world's softest pajamas feel, and you'll love the way they look. More than a gift, they're a feeling, an invitation to relax a little longer. The world's softest pajamas are available only at pajamagram.com. Visit today and give her a gift that keeps on giving to both of you. Plus, you don't even have to wrap because every Pajamagram includes free gift packaging and Christmas delivery is guaranteed. So visit pajamagram.com or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Anyone can publish on the internet, but not everyone is publishing material suited for online reading. According to the Yahoo Style Guide, it cautions that internet content has a few seconds, 3 or less, to encourage people to read more, to take action, or navigate to another one of your pages. So make it easy for readers to pick and choose. Isn't that the way you poke around online? Use short words, short sentences, short paragraphs, bulleted lists, and short pages. Front load what you write, putting the most important information at the beginning of headlines and paragraphs and sentences. Same goes for your keywords, what someone would likely type into the search box on Yahoo or Google. For more tips on communicating better online or in a job interview or everyday life, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. In studio, it's Darryl.
And Chris.
And Mark. We're joined by Mark.
Yeah. Hey, what a nice surprise.
Who just happened to have shown up. You know, we were talking about Bitcoin and crypto regrets earlier, and Mark, you're involved with, I think, at least 2 of mine. Where almost 6 years ago exactly, I sold 5.94 something Bitcoin for $16.10.
Yep.
To you.
Yep, absolutely. I was willing to buy at that point. I did warn you that you probably shouldn't sell this.
Yeah, and I didn't listen because I make bad life decisions. But as I said, I don't regret any of the purchases that I ever made with crypto.
Right.
But just the selling for the sake of selling, that's what I regret.
Well, I not to outdo anyone's regrets here, I don't have a lot of regrets when it comes to crypto, but I can tell you that The time that my wife and I was right there, accidentally sent 63 Bitcoin to a dead address that we didn't have the private keys for.
Oh,
that stung.
So that's part of that 20 to 40% of Bitcoins that
they're just lost.
Researchers feel are just gone. They will never be retrievable, and it's sad.
Just the way it is.
But
it drives up the value of the rest of them.
I want to play taps every time I hear that.
But there is some good news, and that's in regards to hope.freetalklive.com.
Yeah, so hope.freetalklive.com is a project to build an orphanage in Jinja, Uganda. I was a little off in my figuring, and there was a language barrier and all that stuff, so we needed to get another $9,200 to sort of complete the project.
Because they added a second floor and then didn't calculate something.
Right. It doesn't surprise me. So, and I don't feel bad about it. I didn't feel that there's shenanigans going on, but I understood I would understand if anybody did. And we talked about it last night on the air, and we're filled up. There was quadruple matching, so the Shire Free Church is double matching. Then Roger Veer, who wanted to make sure that this was sent over in Bitcoin Cash, and we had quite a few donations in Bitcoin Cash. By the way,
excellent,
nice.
And then Virgil Viduva from Cell 411, he did some matching, and then Mike said that he would match like the final $100.
He did. That final $100 came and went pretty quick. So, yeah, I mean that all just came in one donation. But
excellent.
Yeah, so it was done, finished. Hopefully, anything that comes in will go to the orphans. I'd like to make that clear. If for whatever reason you're listening to this a little bit later and you're like, I donated after he said that they were done. Look, they still need things like food and pencils and
toilet paper,
workbooks. These people have to pay for their school. There's no free school in Uganda.
Right.
So, all the money will go to good causes. I have just signed up for an orphanage, and then I will give the money beyond that, and that will go to a good cause.
Yeah.
But the funding of the construction of the orphanage, that's raised.
That is, yes, it is
excellent.
That's great. And
it's done whether it's done or not. Yes.
Right. And for those of you who aren't into cryptocurrencies and things like that, you've had a Patreon page for this. Is that correct?
No, it's a GoFundMe.
GoFundMe, that's right.
So if you go to hope.freetalklive.com, there's the opportunity to donate through the GoFundMe, through my PayPal, through Bitcoin Cash, through Bitcoin, through Dash, through Ether, or money order. And there's probably some other options there too.
If you use Shapeshift, you can convert things not listed into one of the things that were listed.
Yep.
Hope.freetalklive.com. Let's go to the phones where we've got Robert calling in from Bellows Falls. Robert, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Thank you for taking my call. I've been promoting the thing about Bitcoin and Dash over here in Vermont, and a lot of the people that I've been talking to about this, like some of the merchants, and I've brought it up in the credit union, and it still hasn't really quite hit very much over here, but I keep pushing for it. But that's not the reason why I call.
Is that right there in Bellows Falls?
Pardon me?
I just wanted to know if that was right there in Vermont.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know a lot of the merchants around here. And, some of the places I go to, I talk about Bitcoin. Some people, they've never heard of it. They've never heard of, cryptocurrency. I find myself having to explain, what it is all the time. Or if people have heard of it, they don't understand it. It's too complicated for them, and they'd rather have the greenbacks.
Sure.
Yeah, because if you're running a restaurant, for the most part, there might be some exceptions, but for the most part, the vendor where you get your meat, they want paid in U.S. dollar. They might take a Visa, they might take check, but that's U.S. dollar. That's a form of U.S. dollar payment.
Right.
The places where you get the cups and the sodas, they want paid, and I can understand a merchant wanting money that they will be able to give to their suppliers.
Well, as a merchant, I can address this a little bit, and it takes a while to wrap your head around. When I first started out, we used a system called BitPay. BitPay was really cool from that, greenback dollar point of view, because everything I accepted in cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin at the time, would get automatically converted into U.S. dollars and deposited into my bank account. So that makes it really frictionless. And it was 1%, which is cheaper than going through a credit card. So it's appealing to me. As time has gone on, that has sort of lost its luster because I realized that I can manage my own cryptocurrencies. I can buy, I can accept cryptocurrencies for purchase, and then I can go out and I can trade and sell them either for U.S. dollars, or I can just hold on to them, or I can buy a different cryptocurrency.
Hold them for a couple of months, and then for that short period of time, you've got an increase in value.
Well, basically, our strategy right now is that unless there's a really good reason not to, we hold on to everything until the end of the month and then liquidate should we need to. So that typically gives us some growth. Go ahead, Robert.
I do have a question I want to ask. I don't know, maybe Mark noticed, but there's a cryptocurrency that's on CoinCap now that's almost at $30,000. Is that a glitch or is that true?
So there's some kind of the Russian hacker coin or something like that that's out there. What I would be more concerned with is not the value of an individual coin, because if you'll recall, Robert, a Bitcoin is not really a coin. It's a collection of 10,000, sort of immutable pieces of software. 10 million. I said 10,000. 10 million. So they could this is just the placement of a decimal as to the value. And what I would be more concerned with is the market cap of any given coin.
So I'm on CoinCap right now. That's coincap.io. And I just sorted by price, and there's something called BIT20 that apparently there is one. It's valued at $447,475. The market cap is $447,475 because there is one. The volume traded in the last 24 hours is $5,700. The Russian miner coin, that's the one valued at roughly $30,000. The market cap is $44 million. The 24-hour volume, 139,000. Whereas Bitcoin, the market cap is right around 260 billion. The 24-hour volume is 18 billion.
And your total value of all cryptos right now stands at right around $400 billion. And
that's a pretty big deal. That's bigger than a lot of banks.
Right. And if we look at the fact that it took from, 2010 to 2017 in June to reach $100 billion. And then in the 1st of November, it hit $200 billion. The end of November, $300 billion. Now we're in the first week of December, $400 billion.
Robert,
amazing.
Thank you for the call. Your calls and thoughts welcome. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. What are your thoughts on cryptocurrencies?
Whether you share content as a curator or produce it as a creator, the source of your advertising revenue is often limited by intermediaries like YouTube. What if there was a way to connect content creators directly with advertisers, decentralizing attention-based market advertising transactions and putting the control back into the hands of content owners? Introducing the revolutionary Signal Token Protocol by Spective VR. Partnered with Blend Media, the largest network of 360 video content in the world, and featured on Fox Business's Innovations, Spective VR is a 360 VR streaming platform created to be the first use case and early adopter of the Signal Token Protocol, driving real use and allowing Spective to optimize their platform. SpectiveVR.com is hosting a pre-ICO for Signal tokens starting December 8th at a 40% bonus. For early access to the token sale and an exclusive 60% token bonus, sign up for the email list at SpectiveVR.com.
The answer to being in control of your own healthcare is freedom from insurance. Become part of a group of self-pay patients that come together to share in each other's medical expenses. Individual share amounts begin at $107 a month and $347 for families. Choose from 3 health sharing programs. Holistic treatments may be eligible for sharing. See guidelines. Discount programs available for dental, vision, and pharmacy. Go to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.
Most people think life insurance pays after you're dead. That's true. But did you know you can have tax-free access to your life insurance while you're still alive? You can use the life benefits of your life insurance to grow your money with certainty and guarantees. No stock market risk, no tax risk, and no penalties. Call Life Benefits if you'd like a free book about how this can be done. Call 702-660-7000. That's 702-660-7000.
Free Talk Live.
To be free is to be clear-headed.
I do encourage people.
Somebody gets down and smokes a joint and gets high. They sit on the couch and they turn into a blob.
Yeah, well, I don't think you know much about people that smoke pot, Christy.
Right.
Yeah, Christy.
They procrastinate. That's what you guys were talking about on your show tonight.
Cliche.
About legalizing
then
it.
Christy, then what I can say then is that people that don't smoke pot make sweeping generalizations, because you just did. It seems like the vast majority of humans use some kind of substance throughout their day or week.
Not Christy. She doesn't.
Well,
what a sad state of
Do you
affair
have a cup of coffee in the morning, Christy?
And at this time in our history, if that's
we've always done it. Christy, it's been done throughout humans. People, how many people do you know, Christy, that can't function without a cup of coffee?
Well, you have to have a piece of bread to live, to survive.
We're not talking about food.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Your calls and thoughts welcome about cryptocurrency or whatever is on your mind. In studio tonight, it's Darryl.
And Mark.
And Chris.
We're going to Anarchapulco, which is a big event, a really fun event down in Acapulco, as you might have guessed. February the 15th through the 18th. Speakers, there's just too many to name. Adam Kokesh will be there, Carrie Wedler, Vit Yadlika, Sterling Lujan, Dana Martin, Jeff Berwick, of course, Bruce Fenton, G. Edward Griffin, Jeffrey Tucker, Roger Ver. There'll be live music from the event, and it's happening at the Princess Resort in Acapulco, Mexico. The last one was really awesome. They've moved it every year just to give you sort of a different feel. There's a health and wellness retreat, the CryptoPulco event, which is part of your main ticket, the Change Media University and the Amazonian ceremony. You can do all kinds of stuff there, and you get a 10% discount if you use coupon code FTL. Get your ticket now, anarchapulco.com. Please come out and see us. Come out and hang with cool kids. Anarchapulco.com, coupon code FTL for 10% off your ticket.
And since we're talking about Bitcoin and crypto and regrets, Chris, there was a sort of Twitter war of sorts that you were witnessing over the last few days.
Yeah, and I wouldn't call it a war. It started off with, just some things being said, and there are a lot of people out there, and I'm not going to, this isn't going to be a bash anybody or anything like that type of story, but It involves Andreas Antonopoulos, and for those of you who have been in Bitcoin or have researched Bitcoin, you've likely seen one of his videos. If you've attended any major events on Bitcoin, there's a good chance that he was a speaker there.
Guy's an eloquent speaker and would be a good speaker for anything.
Yeah, he really is. And for me, he's always been one of those guys that can talk very much about the philosophy of Bitcoin and why it's a good thing. And compared to our existing systems, he's very good for the beginner. And he is also that guy that people will call when they have a technical issue with a wallet or an exchange.
I think he's an engineer, yeah.
He is. He has that level of depth and knowledge, and one of his books is Mastering Bitcoin, which is one of those things that every Bitcoin engineer probably has on his bookshelf.
Yeah, and he also wrote The Internet of Money, Volume 1. I don't know if there is a Volume 2, but he
coming
wrote
out
Volume
soon.
1.
But I highly recommend that book for the beginner. It's just a collection of his talks, and it really will give you a good understanding of Bitcoin and why it's important.
The person that can be truly an expert with an incredible depth of knowledge that can explain it well to the beginner,
yes,
and still engage the veteran, that person is a rare jewel, and they are very hard to find, and some niches simply don't have them.
Yep.
Andreas Antonopoulos is probably responsible simply by his eloquence with a great deal of the adoption of Bitcoin.
And the audiobook narrated by former Free Talk Live co-host Stephanie Murphy.
Just listen to it. It's really good. She does a great job with it, too. I highly recommend it.
She's great at voiceover.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a little bit about Andreas. And to give a little bit of a backstory, Andreas had made a post on social media where someone had said, it must be easy for you and all the other Bitcoin millionaires. And he kind of responded saying, well, no, I'm not a Bitcoin millionaire. And in response to this whole thing, he published something on his Patreon page, and I'd like to read it. And please stop me if you guys have any comments or want to bring anything up.
Yep, certainly.
Yesterday, I woke to a flurry of activity on Twitter. A prominent member of the Bitcoin community had decided to message to me that many perceived as critical. The tweet pointed out that if I had managed my money better, I would be wealthy and wouldn't need the support of patrons. It was in response to a message I posted on Twitter a week earlier to once again dispel the impression that I'm a Bitcoin millionaire. It's hard for many to accept that someone who has been involved since 2012 has not amassed a great fortune in Bitcoin.
It's hard for me to accept.
I understand.
And I can tell you, as a person who thinks sort of in a business manner,
right, I
feel like, just the reading of the tweet that said that, Andreas Antonopoulos apparently didn't keep one Bitcoin or something.
Yeah.
I guess the claim was as if he had kept $300 worth of Bitcoin from 2013 or 2012,
sure,
that he would be a Bitcoin millionaire now. And the idea that he didn't keep that amount of Bitcoin felt a little bit like a betrayal to me. It's like,
I get
really?
what you're saying.
You're running around the country, running around the world talking about this stuff, and you're not holding?
Yeah.
But anyway, throughout the exchange, I feel like I've felt a cleansing surrounding it. I don't feel the same way I did. But.
This was a topic of discussion at the Free State Bitcoin conference of, do you hold or do you spend? Is Bitcoin an investment or a currency? And there are people that, they're adamant that it is one or the other, and, well, it can be both.
It can be.
Sure, it's both.
Yep.
But there are some people that were absolutely adamant. The panel that I was on, the people sitting on either side of me were absolutely adamant. It is an investment. It is not a currency. Do not ever spend it.
Right. And while that may be good investment advice, it
has been up to this point.
Never spend your money on food, because money is an investment. You should never spend your money.
Right. I'm going to read a little bit more here. At the end of 2012, when I heard about Bitcoin, I had been working as a freelance consultant for about a year after burning out of my previous work as a partner in a research firm. I had a modest retirement fund, a small amount of credit card debt, and enough income to make ends meet. I was really in limbo looking for the next opportunity. Bitcoin arrived into my awareness.
Didn't we get lucky that he was available for that?
Yeah. Bitcoin arrived into my awareness and slapped me in the face. You've all heard my story of tumbling down the rabbit hole, absolutely consumed by awe. What is not quite obvious is that my obsession also drove me to abandon my consulting work and put all my attention into Bitcoin. I worked as hard as I have ever worked, focused full-time on this technology. During this time, I was unable to find any way of making a living through Bitcoin. I traveled to speak at conferences, which didn't even cover expenses. I consulted with startups, which couldn't pay me. I wrote articles, etc., to support my habit. I dipped into my savings. I cut back on my expenses as much as I could and started ravaging my savings. By 2013, I was forced to start liquidating my retirement funds. In my early 40s, I was undoing a lifetime of savings in a way most people would consider irresponsible. While doing so, I incurred penalty taxes for early withdrawal. Then I went into credit card debt. By the end of 2013, I was worse than broke, going into debt at an alarming rate. Finally, in 2014, I started to make a bit of income. I was so deeply in debt that I continued to live paycheck to paycheck, struggling to chip away at my debt. It was going to be
hard for me to remember when Bitcoin sort of peaked out at that 1,200 mark and then tumbled down.
Yeah,
because that was the 40 years in the desert.
I think that
Bitcoin
was late 2013.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel you, Andreas.
Yeah.
What it was like here at Free Talk Live. Having been so deep into Bitcoin, and you can believe that there were people out there saying Free Talk Live has led the world astray by advocating the purchase of Bitcoin, and those sorts of things. And of course, we advocated for the purchase of them when they were very, very low, but we never advocated selling. We didn't advocate even the notion of selling until 2017.
Right.
So. Yeah, I mean, I feel what it was like. Yeah.
Yeah, and he won't. He goes on to say, and he has become debt free at the end of 2016. I won't complain about the lost opportunity. I'm extremely fortunate to be able to live debt free, doing my dream job in a field I absolutely love. Yesterday, while reading the tweet that criticized me for my poor choices, I felt sick to my stomach. It forced me to confront and relive every choice I had made and all the missed opportunities. You see, the critical tweet contained a big grain of truth. I could have become wealthy if only I hadn't sold, if only I hadn't given away hundreds of Bitcoins to complete strangers, if only I had reduced my expenses more, if only I had made smarter choices, if only. Working in Bitcoin is an endless struggle against cynicism, negativity, and regret. Throughout the last 5 years, I've always tried to maintain an optimistic and positive outlook, to focus on the long term, and to think about the potential to lift billions out of poverty. But every now and then
I love that notion, but Bitcoin doesn't deliver on that anymore.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But every now and then I get dragged back into the negative. Yesterday was one of those days, and I felt crushed. So is Bitcoin not capable of delivering on that promise? By today's standards, I kind of agree with you based on high fees and things like that.
Maybe in the future, but if your business plan is, well, until we get our technology fixed, please go ahead and use our competition, or maybe credit cards or PayPal or something, you've got a crappy business plan.
Your calls and thoughts welcome. Is Bitcoin capable of leading people out of poverty? This is Free Talk Live.
Have you ever wondered who the second person to discover gravity was? When you're in the mood for a treat, would you go to the second best bakery in town? Or how about the name John Breckenridge? Recognize it? If you don't, that's because he came in second to Abraham Lincoln. The firsts are first for a reason. Just how ID Stronghold was the first to create the technology to protect your credit cards from thieves with RFID chip scanners. ID Stronghold products block signals from those scanners, so thieves can't capture your critical data. Get a stronghold on your personal information and protect your family too. Don't settle for the second best wallet. Pick up ID Stronghold wallets for everyone on your list this holiday season. They're the perfect stocking stuffer, with leather wallets starting as low as $20 on Walmart.com, eBay, Amazon, and QVC. Save 10% by using coupon code PRESENT for a limited time. That's coupon code PRESENT only on idstronghold.com. idstronghold.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BitCot no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, December 6th, 2017. Silver is trading at $15.85 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,256 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 6.4 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $15,095. Antiwar.com reports calls by the United Nations for a humanitarian ceasefire in Yemen and calls by the U.S. government for the Saudis to end the blockade of Yemen both appear to have fallen on deaf ears, with the blockade continuing so far and Saudi warplanes attacking the Yemeni capital with even more intensity than before. While Saudi airstrikes over the weekend were presented as an effort to support former Yemeni President Ali Abdullah Saleh in switching sides, Saleh's death on Monday meant the Saudi coalition has rebranded the attacks as focusing on avenging Salah. The Saudi coalition appears eager to facilitate this, with United Arab Emirates Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan visiting Salah's exiled son to offer condolences and raising speculation that the younger Salah could soon be sent to Yemen to try to lead what's left of the Salah forces. Salah's GPC and the Houthis are the two main factions in northern Yemen, and the Houthis have followed up the death of Salah by seizing his home and the homes of several of his relatives. The Saudis have subsequently bombed Salah's house, which ironically is what they did at the start of the war that led Saleh to align with the Houthis in the first place. The war and blockade has killed thousands and put millions on the brink of starvation in North Yemen. The Saudi strikes are continuing to worsen that crisis, and in the capital of Sana'a, many civilians are basically trapped inside their homes. Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organization to show up in an emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare to the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BitCot no-gov license. Cell 411, because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com. UPI reports the U.S. House passed a bill Wednesday that would allow concealed carry permit holders to conceal carry their weapons in any other state. The Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act passed 231 to 198 in the House, with 6 Democrats voting for it and 14 Republicans voting against. The bill had support from the National Rifle Association, which praised its passage. Chris Cox, executive director of the NRA, said in a statement, "This vote marks a watershed moment for Second Amendment rights. The Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act is the culmination of a 30-year movement recognizing the right of all law-abiding Americans to defend themselves and their loved ones, including when they cross state lines." The author of the bill, Representative Richard Hudson of North Carolina, said concealed carry permits should be treated like driver's licenses or marriage licenses, which are recognized across state lines. During House floor debate, Hudson said, "If I get married in North Carolina but move to Arizona, I'm not suddenly a single man. They recognize that marriage. The concealed carry permit should be recognized the same way." But Democrats who opposed the bill said that more lenient gun laws open the door for more gun violence. The bill also proposes improvements to the FBI National Instant Criminal Background Check system and requires a response within 60 days to people who believe they were mistakenly added to the system. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports a gay man who was denied a marriage license in Kentucky 2 years ago by a county clerk who refused to issue licenses for same-sex marriages will run to unseat her next year. David Ermold of Moorhead, Kentucky, announced his candidacy as a Democrat against Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis, who drew worldwide attention when she refused to grant the licenses to same-sex couples, citing her religious beliefs. Ermold and his partner were one of the 4 couples who sued Davis. After his campaign announcement on Facebook, Ermold told Reuters, "We need to restore the integrity of that office. I wasn't treated fairly myself." Davis intends to seek re-election as a Republican in 2018. She spent 5 days in jail in September 2015 after refusing a court order to issue marriage licenses following the Supreme Court's decision legalizing same-sex marriage. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Nothing you do or say will ever reach the lofty heights attained by the following news summary. This is the Onion Week in Review. Facing increased market pressure and a shrinking bottom line, media company Star Trove was forced to lay off dozens of unskilled bloggers this week. Sources confirmed that before being dismissed, many of the bloggers had been with the company for months, regularly performing menial tasks such as describing celebrity outfits and composing quizzes about Disney characters.
I mean, I'd been with this company for almost a year. It wasn't the most rewarding job, and I didn't have health insurance, but it paid the bills. I'm already 25 years old. I just don't know where to go from here.
In other news, a 6-day visit to a rural African village completely changes a woman's Facebook profile picture. A new dating website helps plus-size Jewish plane crash survivors find love. And a kid figures he'll go down the slide 36 more times and then call it a day.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live. This is Free Talk Live. Kicking off hour number 3. You can join us by calling toll-free 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. In studio, it's Darryl.
And Chris.
And Chris, you've been telling us about the good side of humanity. You know, too often people wind up only seeing how horrible other people are.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe as they say, 'tis the season to not be an a-hole. I don't think they actually say it that way. But, you know, there's something about, you know, this time of year to where the best of humanity seems to come out.
And I tell you, this is a really interesting story in crypto because this is also the time when people's blatant greed just bubbles to the top. You know, here's what you'll find on Twitter mentioned more than anything else as this stellar climb of Bitcoin from $1,000 at the first of the year to $17,000, $18,000 today. Lambo. We're talking Lambo money. Woo,
I heard
woo.
that
You're
more
buy
last
a Lambo.
weekend.
I'm going to be buying a Lambo.
I heard that more last weekend than I have in probably 20 years.
Because all these guys, you know, they bought Bitcoin a while ago, or even they bought a lot last year, and then suddenly, you know, everybody's thinking they're going to be insanely wealthy, and that may or may not happen. Who knows? This thing could all come crashing down tomorrow, which I think the odds of that are infinitesimally small.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot of talk of greed, and we've been talking about a gentleman named Andreas Antonopoulos who got into Bitcoin early on, and
not just got into Bitcoin early on. He wrote the book.
Yeah,
The Internet of Money.
He did. He wrote Mastering Bitcoin, which is a great reference for people that are interested in the technical side of how this thing works. And then he spent years flying around the globe extolling Bitcoin, talking to anybody who would listen, and doing TV shows, doing TV interviews, and putting speeches. Hundreds of hours of his stuff is out on the internet, and he's just a great guy.
You're reading a post from, is this his Patreon?
From his Patreon page.
Back up about a paragraph and a half, because it sort of reveals something that I don't think a lot of people realize about speakers, where he mentions that he was spending more on travel and lodging than he was being paid. Most people have this fantasy in their head of, oh, I'm paying to attend this conference. These speakers must be getting paid tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars.
Right. And in mature industries, oftentimes that's correct. Or that the producers of the conference will at least cover your travel expenses or something like that.
Or they'll give you a gratis ticket to the convention.
And maybe dinner the night before.
Yes.
Yeah. So Darryl and I have received at least that level of benefit. And he goes on to talk about, he was so into spreading the word of Bitcoin that he was basically funding all this travel himself, dipping into his savings and then dipping into his retirement, and then finding himself pretty much flat broke, but in his words, worse than broke. But then,
right, because broke is $0. Worse than broke is
in debt.
You've got, he mortgaged a house. Generally, houses, a couple $100,000 worth of debt. You probably got a car loan, credit cards.
Yeah.
So we're talking, significant debt,
and we're talking about the guy who puts forth the most optimism in everything he does, that I don't think anybody ever really knew this was going on. And this is sort of his confessional. And he talks about in 2014 how he was able to start making a little bit of an income out of this Bitcoin thing. And he's slowly been able to pay it off. And in 2016, he was free of debt.
So because I was really curious of, how much debt does the average American have? There's some statistics here from 2016 from NerdWallet. The average American household has, and I'm going to round up here instead of giving the exact dollars.
Right.
$17,000 worth of credit card debt, a $182,000 mortgage, $30,000 car loan, and $51,000 worth of student loans. Yeah. That's the average American household.
Isn't that nuts?
So the average American household is worse than broke.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anywhere near this in the bank.
Yeah.
So the average American has a negative net worth.
Yep. I'm going to reread this last paragraph, and then we're going to move on.
Please do.
Working in Bitcoin is an endless struggle against cynicism, negativity, and regret. Throughout the last 5 years, I've always tried to maintain an optimistic and positive outlook, to focus on the long term, to think about the potential to lift billions out of poverty. But every now and then, I get dragged back into the negative. Yesterday was one of those days. I felt crushed. And then something amazing happened. Over the next several hours, tens, dozens, then hundreds of people responded. I sat reading the responses with tears in my eye. An outpouring of positivity washed over me. People I had never met jumped to my defense, reminding me that they started their journey after watching my videos, after reading my books. Some people attacked the original criticism and its author, which I strongly discourage, but the vast majority focused on the optimism. Not only did people remind me of the importance of my work, they also encouraged each other to support me. In the last year, I've gradually received more and more of my income from Patreon. Patreon allows me to regain the financial security without switching my focus to commercial conferences, banking, and investment events, and chasing the next paycheck. Because of Patreon, I managed to stop selling and finally hodl. Finally, because of Patreon, I can dedicate my entire focus to the people who I have always felt like I am working for, the community of cryptocurrency dreamers, visionaries, and creators. And now I finally get to work for you. Yesterday, you fed my soul. You reminded me why it is so important to remain optimistic, focused, and determined to overcome the cynicism. It's been a long, hard road. Sometimes I get lost. But every time one of you do, you step up and help me find my way, find my focus again. You show me that I do not walk alone on this path. You are all there with me. I am part of a wonderful community, and you have my back. Today, I'm even more focused on my goals, educating the next 10 million users, train the next 10,000 developers, do it all in every medium possible, do it in more languages, do it with more energy, with more passion, do it with unrelenting optimism. In the end, my engine runs on hope, it runs on optimism, and today it's turbocharged. Thank you. So let me talk a little bit about what happened. People started posting his Patreon page. That's a website you can go to make a reoccurring donation to someone to help them do what they're doing.
Right. And there's one for the Liberty Radio Network.
Correct.
If you go to fund.lrn.fm, that's the Patreon that helps fund the free-to-air satellites that we have over North and Central America and basically all of sub-Saharan Africa.
Yep. The other thing they posted was his Bitcoin address. And Andreas has a what we like to refer to as a vanity address. His address starts with one Andreas, and it was at 0 before all this started. He had no balance in his Bitcoin address. The donations started to come in.
I'm sure they did.
Slow at first, and then somebody hit him with a $500,000 donation.
And I'm fairly certain that the number of patrons also wound up going in the upward direction as well.
Yep. So following this criticism for not being a Bitcoin billionaire, the balance in his wallet right now is valued at $977,482.84. He is $23 million away from being a millionaire, which I think is $23,000 away from being a millionaire.
This is cool. Free Talk Live. Your calls and thoughts welcome. 855-450-FREE.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Do you want to help build a better financial system for everyone? Join Dash. Dash is Digital Cash, a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy, fees are low, and transactions are confirmed instantly. Dash is decentralized, run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Dash is set up to succeed where other platforms have failed. Give it a try at dash.org. Help people take control over their financial future today. Find out more at dash.org.
Earlier this year, after many years of conflict over the direction of Bitcoin, the creators of Bitcoin Cash did just what they were told to do. They forked off. Now there are 2 Bitcoins, the one that is run by the big bank patsies, and Bitcoin Cash, the one that stays true to the creator's vision. Bitcoin Cash has surprised many with its relevancy and staying power, and the price reflects it. If you believe that Bitcoin was meant to be a low-cost, easy-to-use, peer-to-peer currency that could bring economic freedom to the world, you need Bitcoin Cash. Get your Bitcoin Cash wallet right now at bitcoin.com.
Shop online and support Free Talk Live. Every purchase you make at shop.freetalklive.com helps spread a message of liberty. From shop.freetalklive.com, you can shop at places like Walmart, Newegg, Amazon UK, Amazon Canada, Omaha Steaks, HostGator, and more. Plus, you can get discounts on web hosting, legal documents, or pretty much anything using saveatpurse.com. Just bookmark the link and help Free Talk Live while shopping online. Thank you for shopping with shop.freetalklive.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855 450 free. That's 855-450-3733. In studio tonight, it's Darryl.
And Chris.
And this weekend, I'm going to Northern Maine because, well, I'm running a marathon on Saturday, and that means I'm staying in a hotel. And I don't know how the hotel pillows are going to be, so I am taking my pillow with me because my pillow is the best pillow that I have ever used. Chris, you've had one for several years.
I have.
I've had mine for close to 2 years now, and you can get your very own MyPillow, and you can try it risk-free for 60 days. The MyPillow is designed to fit to the shape of your body, hold your neck in the proper position. Again, I've been using this thing for close to 2 years now, and it's the best pillow I've ever had. And unlike a regular pillow that collects a lot of dead skin and dirt over the years, you can take your MyPillow, throw it into the washer, throw it into the dryer, and it's still usable as something other than kindling to start a fire. Go to MyPillow.com. Use code FTL, as in Free Talk Live. Get your very own MyPillow at half price, or you can get a second MyPillow free of charge. And remember, if you don't like it for some reason in the first 60 days, you get your money back. And the pillow itself is guaranteed to last you 10 years. MyPillow.com, code FTL, as in Free Talk Live. That's MyPillow.com, code FTL. Now, we've spent most of the night talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and, you know, both very important things, because I am convinced that cryptocurrencies will revolutionize the world. But let's change gears here just a little bit. And Chris, I know you're a big advocate of Second Amendment rights.
I think that's fair to say.
The right to self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also a supporter of decentralization, meaning that the federal government should not be, setting diktats from on high.
Correct.
So I'm guessing you must feel a little conflicted this week with the passage of H.R. 38, the Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act.
Yeah, there is that level, and it's also sort of a Second Amendment versus 10th Amendment conflict, where if things aren't specifically spelled out in the Constitution, as powers granted to the federal government, then those powers remain with the states or with the people respectively. But sometimes you'll take the win when it prohibits states from doing things that are not good.
Right.
And sometimes states would prefer to do something that is unconstitutional. Now, that gets a little gray because there's some parts of the Constitution, like the First Amendment, that says Congress shall pass no law.
Right.
So when we talk about things like freedom of religion, what that literally says is that, no, the federal government cannot pass a state religion for the whole country.
And some people will point out that
a state could.
The Commonwealth of Massachusetts had an official state religion when the Constitution was signed and when the Bill of Rights was ratified.
True.
There's an opinion piece. Actually, it's an editorial from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch that I want to delve into. And I specifically, Chris, want your thoughts, but if you're listening and you have thoughts, feel free to call in. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Title of the editorial, States' Rights Be Damned. The House again does the NRA's bidding.
A little dramatic there, but okay, I'll bite. Go ahead.
Once upon a time, Missouri gun rights activists proudly upheld the state's right to pass and enforce its own laws. If you don't like them, well, you're free to move to another state. That concept of states' rights used to be a bedrock philosophy of the Republican Party in its campaign against federal overreach. Now, Republicans aren't so sure that states know what's best for themselves, and maybe a whole lot of federal intrusion might be the best way to go. On Wednesday, the U.S. House of Representatives kneeled to pressure by the NRA and approved a bill that would allow federal law to supersede the ability of individual states to enforce their own gun laws.
Okay, we got to stop right there. And this is the reaction of a lot of the press and a lot of people that are anti-gun rights, that anything that could possibly be positive towards the right of self-defense, gun ownership, possession of ammunition or buying of ammunition or any accessory or anything remotely tied to it, it is absolutely the work of the NRA. It's like gun activists like myself just wake up in the morning waiting for our marching orders to appear in my email from NRA about what I'm supposed to do today. That's a crock, absolute crock. The NRA, I will tell you this, represents, I would say, a minority of gun owners, minimally.
It's a shrinking number, I will say that.
There are other organizations that are siphoning membership off of the NRA because of the NRA's weak stands, oftentimes, on standing up to an abusive federal government or abusive state governments. So this idea that everything is driven by the NRA is a crock. Usually it's driven by grassroots people like myself who are more interested in our freedoms than paying dues to an organization that may or may not represent us.
6 Democrats supported the bill and 14 Republicans, perhaps mindful of being labeled hypocrites, voted against it. The bill, H.R. 38, or the Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act of 2017, effectively allows states like Missouri, with the loosest gun laws, to impose their will on states that impose tighter restrictions. Missouri and Kansas are among the 12 states that allow permitless concealed carry, which means qualified adults can buy a handgun, conceal it, and under this bill go to any public place that allows in any other state, no questions asked. That sentence didn't really seem to be worded properly, but I will continue. Illinois requires a permit, but under H.R. 38, Missouri would get to impose its law on the people of Illinois, like it or not. Now, I want to pause here to ask the question because I've not read H.R. 38, and I've only read what I have read, which are various news reports, quotes from the author of the bill, etc. But my understanding is that the bill only applies to people with a state-issued concealed carry permit. It does not apply to people that happen to live in a state that does not require a permit.
Correct.
So the people of the fine state of Vermont, our friends to the left of us here in New Hampshire,
right?
They have no concealed carry permit. It does not exist in that state. But under this, they still cannot carry in a state unless that state also allows permitless carry. Your calls and thoughts. 855-450 free.
Want revenge on the common housefly? Well, after 10,000 years, someone has finally come up with a better way. The Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic and no batteries required. So much fun, you'll forget you have a wife and kids. $39.95 and free economy shipping. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Makes the perfect stocking stuffer. Get your Bug Assault today.
If you or someone you care about loves outdoor adventure, then check out slingbow.com for some unique holiday gift ideas. That's slingbow.com, where we have some innovative new products for the archer, hunter, or bow fishing enthusiast in your family. Now through January, use the promo code HOLIDAY to get free shipping in the US or Canada. And from all of us at Slingbow Industries, have a safe, joyous, and peaceful holiday season.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement, and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. More on this editorial from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. But want to remind you that with holidays coming up fairly soon, you might want to wind up doing some last-minute online shopping. When you do that, please begin that shopping experience at shop.freetalklive.com. From there, you can go to Amazon UK, Amazon Canada, Walmart, Newegg, Omaha Steaks, several other places, all from shop.freetalklive.com. Now, what you could do is you go to shop.freetalklive.com and then you bookmark the site that you want to go to, and then you don't have to keep going back to shop.freetalklive.com. In studio, it's Darryl.
And Chris.
And there's more from this editorial, but first, let's go to the phones. We've got Sarah calling in from New Mexico. Sarah, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yes, nice to talk to you, Darryl. You're one of the nice guys. But anyways, did you know that Albuquerque here now is we're number one in bicycle fatalities?
Bicycles?
Again.
That's not something that you want to be number one in.
Oh, so
we always either the bronze medalist, the third, or the silver, or the gold medalist.
Hold on, they actually give out medals for that? Who gives out the medals?
No, I'm just saying, number one, number two. We're always
no
like
actual
the top
medals,
third
Darryl.
or the
Okay, so it's not an actual medal.
So you rate very high up there in pedestrian deaths too, right?
Right, that's correct. I don't know what our rating is for pedestrian fatalities last year, but I think this is a 2017 statistic. So, but what is interesting is that, men over age 55 and older are the ones that are the most killed on the bicycle here. So figure that one out.
They're slower. As the people get older, they get a
Or
little
there
slower.
might just be more men that ride bikes.
Could be.
In traffic.
I don't know.
you know
what
what?
do you think the
Maybe-
reason is?
Well, I was speculating. That could be part of the reason. But men have a lot more courage than women. Women are a lot more cautious before we jump, cross the street on a bike or something. Men, I have noticed that they're kind of numb to fear of cars and of death and so forth. Maybe that's why they put them in combat. Women are a little bit more precautious. That's one of the reasons. And probably by then, they have hearing loss. They need to get hearing aids. They can't hear the cars. So you're right. But slow reflexes. They have vision and hearing loss. And I always thought that men are numb to kind of pain, and they're not afraid of bullets coming at them as much as women do. And so I guess they're less afraid of cars also. That's my
That's
feeling,
a very interesting theory, Sarah. Thank you for the call. Let's jump back into this editorial from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Again, headline, States' Rights Be Damned. The U.S. House again does the NRA's bidding. Although the NRA argues that the Second Amendment rights should apply uniformly throughout the land, different states have conflicting interpretations. Kansas, for example, expresses specific concerns about the existence of armed militias referenced in the Second Amendment. In other words, Kansas specifically reserves the right to add clarity where the U.S. Constitution is too vague. Other states, such as California, impose far more restrictions on gun ownership, choosing to interpret the Second Amendment's reference to a well-regulated militia as meaning that the right to bear arms is not absolute. But neighboring Arizona, much like Missouri, seems to embrace a philosophy of the more guns, the better. Under H.R. 38, California would have to honor Arizona's concealed carry laws. Well, no, that's not what it says.
Right.
They would only have to recognize a concealed carry permit issued
right
in Arizona or New Hampshire. People that are residents of Vermont that have no option to get a concealed carry permit would not then be allowed to concealed carry in Chicago or New York City and then just say, well, Vermonter. The editorial continues. The law also would even allow qualified out-of-state gun owners to carry concealed firearms in school zones. No, there's actually from PolitiFact, no, the GOP concealed carry bill does not block states from keeping guns out of schools.
Right.
But then the editorial continues. Senate Republicans acknowledge the bill probably will not pass their chamber, especially since memories of recent gun massacres in Nevada and Texas are still fresh on the minds of their constituents. The NRA is pressing its luck. Americans' voters' tolerance is wearing thin for the mass bloodshed that accompanies looser gun laws.
Oh, geez.
Thinner still is their tolerance for hypocrisy.
Yeah, the idea that our gun laws are just being... Last year was a great example. So basically, one of Trump's first moves was to roll back a Obama... I think it was an executive order that he had talked about where he was going to require something additional to ensure people were checked against mental health records.
Something like that.
Something like that.
I do know that this bill, H.R. 38, if it winds up getting passed into law, and it sounds like it's not going to pass the Senate, but if it does get passed, it would expand the NICS background checks.
Right. But the point is everybody was reporting on how the Republicans were, trashing gun laws left and right because of this one executive order that Obama put out there, which never went into effect. It had never gone into effect. And they said, oh, so we're going to give crazy people guns now. That's what we're doing now? Well, no, you had been doing that all along because this law was never in place, never stopped a single person.
Right, and that's sort of the way that this weird hyper-partisan, weird binary sort of thing goes of, Chris, would you like a peanut butter jelly sandwich?
No.
Right now, do you want a peanut butter and jelly?
Yes.
Why do you hate peanut butter and jelly?
Exactly.
Free Talk Live host, as opposed to peanut butter and jelly, wants to throw everybody in jail that eats jelly.
Would immediately go to hates children.
Yeah, because children like
children.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Doesn't like children. Doesn't care about, that's how it goes.
I'll tell you what's good. Peanut butter and cheddar cheese. Put it in the microwave for about 20 seconds.
I'm not even going there. I've heard too many peanut butter and insert crazy ingredient stories to fall for this one. Bananas. My mother, peanut butter and mayonnaise.
No. You
just said what millions of people listening just said to themselves. No. I swear to God, she loved it on toast.
I think I'm one of the only white people that doesn't like mayonnaise.
That's a white thing? Oh, jeez, Darryl, come on.
That's what I've always been told. Like, it's a white...
A white condiment? It is a white condiment.
None of my black friends like mayonnaise.
Oh, God, I've never heard that.
None of my Mexican friends like mayonnaise.
I'm not gonna fall for this stereotyping, Darryl. I'm sure there are people of all walks and and colors and creeds.
There
love
probably
mayonnaise.
are, but I've also heard people up in New England say, "Oh yeah, it's the French in me," or it's the insert ethnicity here. That's why I put mayonnaise on everything.
Yeah, I don't get that.
But it does seem to be. Have you noticed that? It seems to be something that winds up being put on everything here.
There tends
other
to
than
be
like scrambled eggs.
An abundance of mayonnaise in this area. I will give you that.
Yeah. 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 It's.
But back to this whole idea. It's just more insanity out of Washington. It's more painting the other guy the bad guy because you don't have anything really to bring to the table to make things better.
Yeah. Well, we here on Free Talk Live do like to make things better, and we've got an interview coming up with Diamond Dallas Page. He's been making people's lives better. This is Free Talk Live.
Whether you share content as a curator or produce it as a creator, the source of your advertising revenue is often limited by intermediaries like YouTube. What if there was a way to connect content creators directly with advertisers, decentralizing attention-based market advertising transactions and putting the control back into the hands of content owners? Introducing the revolutionary Signal Token Protocol by Spective VR. Partnered with Blend Media, the largest network of 360 video content in the world, and featured on Fox Business's Innovations, Spective VR is a 360 VR streaming platform created to be the first use case and early adopter of the Signal Token Protocol, driving real use and allowing Spective to optimize their platform. SpectiveVR.com is hosting a pre-ICO for Signal tokens starting December 8th at a 40% bonus. For early access to the token sale and an exclusive 60% token bonus, sign up for the email list at SpectiveVR.com.
Guys, wouldn't your wife or girlfriend love it if you treated her to the very best this Christmas? Well, you can, and you don't even have to go out of your way. We're talking about the world's softest pajamas, available exclusively at pajamagram.com. That's pajamagram.com. Created by a team of dedicated pajama experts, the world's softest pajamas are lighter than a cloud, softer than a bunny, like cashmere, only better. She'll love the way the world's softest pajamas feel, and you'll love the way they look. More than a gift, they're a feeling, an invitation to relax a little longer. The world's softest pajamas are available only at pajamagram.com. Visit today and give her a gift that keeps on giving to both of you. Plus, you don't even have to wrap because every Pajamagram includes free gift packaging and Christmas delivery is guaranteed. So visit pajamagram.com or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. If you're on the phones, we're not going to be able to take you because we've got a very special, to me and to a lot of other people, very special guest coming on for the rest of the show. It's the one, the only Diamond Dallas Page. He is a multiple-time World Wrestling Champion, also held the WCW Television Championship, the Tag Team Championships, the U.S. Championship, the WWF at the time, I believe, might have been WWE, the European Championship. Diamond Dallas Page, also a WWE Hall of Famer and a yogi.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a second. Not yogi.
You're not a yogi.
DDP yoga. No. A DDP yoga guy or
as I like to call it today, DDPY. Why? Because it's yoga for people who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga.
So I have to say that you, sir, are an inspiration to not only myself, but to a bunch of other people. There's a very famous video, and Chris Jericho mentions this all the time in his podcast, the Arthur Borman video. So for anybody that has never seen that video, just very briefly, if you could, explain why people should watch that video.
Well, I'll tell you, you can find it at ddpyoga.com. We've always got it right up there on top because I inspired one guy 10 years ago. He inspired mazillions of people. And I met Arthur online. He had invested in my very first program. And it was just DVDs. It was before, we did the DVDs and the food, and then we did the DVDs, the food and the inspiration, and the community, and the app, and DDP Yoga Now. It was like, this is the first thing I ever did, besides the book that was called Yoga for Regular Guys. And anyone who invested in those initial DVDs, I didn't have an automatic response. So I had to personally cut and paste and email every single person who got the program. And I would. And people didn't believe it was really me because I was pretty hot off TV at the time, only a couple of years off TV, like strong TV. So they really didn't believe that it was me doing it. And it was. And I would send people an email saying, hey, I'm not trying to sell you anything. You already invested in the program. And I want to thank you for believing in me. And I've got 6 questions I'd love for you to answer. And this guy, Arthur, his answers were unbelievable. He really took the time. He put the work in. So I wrote him back. And I said, hey, man, I go, thank you so much for taking the time on those answers. I go, it sounds like you need help. What's your story? And here's the cliff notes. He wrote back, morbidly obese, disabled veteran, and have relegated to thinking of myself as a piece of furniture. Now, that was heavy, so I thought, and I've been to Iraq at that time twice to see the troops. I would go at all time. I went 3 times to Iraq and once to Afghanistan. I was never a big fan of the war at all. I've always been a big fan of the warrior. And went there to support them and went there to work with them and take pictures and do all that. So spent some real quality time with them. And when I heard Arthur was a disabled vet, it definitely encouraged me to do something I'd never done before. I said, why don't you send me some pictures so I can see where you are and, figure it out from there. And he sent me these pictures with these knee braces that he had and strapped into his back brace. And I didn't realize at the time, but his wife every morning had to put on his sleeves, then his knee braces, then the sleeves over the knee braces, then attach it to the back brace. So every morning his wife is technically dressing him because he doesn't have the mobility to do anything. So she would put all that on him, then help him out of bed and give him his wraparound canes. He called them cuffs. And he'd start his day drudgingly moving around. So Arthur, he sent me, like I say, those pictures, and I said to him, I sent him an email back with a food plan that I'd gotten from a guy named Dr. Fred Bishey. And Fred Bishey is a nutritionist and a very smart guy. And I knew that he had helped heal a lot of people, from food. And I'm talking about cancer and stuff. So it was a serious nutritional food plan that I sent him. Now, if he writes back, I think I can do it or I'll give it a try, I would have wrote back, awesome, keep me posted. But he didn't do that. He wrote 4 very powerful words. He wrote back to me, I can do that. I said, send me your phone number. And that's when we started on this journey that literally would, it would change so many lives. Arthur's goal was to lose 50 pounds so that he could get his knees operated on, because he was 5'6", 297, and could not move. Could not move without the knee braces, back brace, and wraparound canes. And the Veterans Hospital, they wouldn't operate on him until he got under 250, because he was 297. So that was like the requirement. So his goal was to lose 50 pounds. Well, with my program, he lost 32 pounds the first month. He lost 22 pounds the second month. He lost 18 pounds the third month. That's 72 pounds.
That's amazing. And I'm looking at before, during, and after photos right now. How much weight did he lose overall?
140 pounds in 10 months. But more importantly, he lost the knee braces, the back brace, and the wraparound canes, not just to walk, but to run. Now, here's the best part, though. And this is what I learned about food. He never had the knee operations, which means he had to internally start to heal himself. And I know my workout's going to help heal him, but without the food being real food and the way he ate it, I don't think he ever would have got the same results.
Yeah, and that's absolutely amazing. And like I said, he was an inspiration to me, and again, to a lot of other people. And I had a similar experience. I didn't have knee braces. I didn't have the back brace, but I went from 317 pounds to 172 pounds in less than a year, and I'm a marathon runner now. And again, this guy was an inspiration, and I have not, I have to apologize, I've not done your yoga program. I definitely want to give it a try, but it's not just Arthur. You basically saved the lives of a couple of your friends as well, Jake Roberts and Scott Hall.
Yeah, the movie, The Resurrection of Jake the Snake, we had no idea if anybody would ever really see it, because you got to remember, we're filming a video about redemption and recovery of an addict that we don't know if what we're doing is going to work or not. It's not like we're rehab people, because we're not. We're people who focus everything around teaching people how to own their life again. Like, I have a book right now that literally, it isn't out yet. I just finished writing it. The release date, Rodale is actually the same people who delivered everybody that very famous book, The Secret. They also own Men's Health and Women's Health and Men's Fitness, and they've got a lot of really health-minded magazines that they also own. But they actually just put up. My wife sent it to me, because you can pre-buy Own Your Life by Diamond Dallas Page. You can actually pre-buy it right now on Amazon. It'll be released. It'll be shipped August 7th, because that's when it actually, it drops. But what's really cool about it is that, I teach people how literally to own your life again. And it's just from the methods and the principles that, I've taught, and the main thing is you have to change the story you tell yourself. You have to reinvent your future. And it starts just like you feed your muscles and you feed your body and you feed your inspiration. You have to feed your mind. And I really talk about that throughout the book and give examples. Of course, Arthur is one of them. Jake is another. Someone who finally turned his life around at 58 years old. I also believe that it's never too late to change.
Diamond Dallas Page, thank you so much for coming on Free Talk Live. Now, if you want to hear the full interview, make sure you download the full show from freetalklive.com. Rest of the interview will be in the after show. This is Free Talk Live.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeen.com. Keene